What's going on, everybody? Future Saints, current Saints. I hope your week is going great. Um, back with you, to bring you another video. This one's going to be another politics one. Just kind of focusing on some of the responses that we've seen from the election. Not every single response. I'm sure we've all seen the compilations of people just absolutely in a deranged, delusional, schizophrenic like state. Demons running rampant in some of these people, and they need to be exercised. And I say that with seriousness. The way some of these videos I've seen from TikTok of these people, man, there needs to be some serious Christ intervention in their life, and I hope they got people around them that can help them realize that. Because man, oh man, to some of the reactions, I know you've seen them. Some of y'all have seen them. The reactions, they get wild. They get wild. Some people, man, it's not going to be enough to just section them. You need to have a man of God there preaching to them, helping them, because that's I mean, the world is what got them messed up like that in the first place. But I digress. We're going to focus a little bit more on some more notable figures in the sea, in the vast mines of salt from the election, namely Rachel Zegler and I forgot the other person, but anyway, I'm going to bring them up so we'll be able to see them. And before I do that, though, man, it's just like, as much as the TV is losing influence, as much as mainstream media is dying, it's not going fast enough, and they still command a good amount of power. And I understand it's not where it used to be. I talked about this in my last video too. It's not where it used to be, and it's dwindling still. But it can't happen fast enough, man. To see some of my fellow Americans, and yeah, they're mostly women. It's mostly women. Not really that surprising, to be honest, but it's still sad and shocking. I can't even imagine if women in your life reacted like that. As far as I know, nobody in my family did, but it's scary. It's scary. So let's go ahead and look at our first one here from Rachel Zegler. Let's go. And here it is. Here's her little statement. So I guess this was posted to her Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. I don't follow her there. Obviously, I heard about it just like y'all did from all of the press that got from that came from her statement. I find myself speechless. This is her. For those who are not watching, I find myself speechless in the midst of this. This is after the election, obviously. Another 4 years of hatred leaning us. I'm guessing she meant to say leading us towards a world I do not want to live in. Jesus. Leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Now, she does not have kids, as far as I know. Maybe I missed something, but she doesn't have any kids. She's only put leading here. For some reason, she didn't put leading in any one of these. Anyway, let me continue. Leading us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want. Jesus Christ in heaven, man. Leading us towards a world that is fearful. It's leading you to the world that's fearful. Let me finish the statement. Let me finish. Take a breath. Because there's two more paragraphs there. I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. You're shocked, okay. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fearful this morning. If you check it out, you'll see there's some. She was frantically typing this because, again, the schizophrenia was taking over her body. And I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. This law should not have been, and it certainly should not have been, by so many votes. I echo Ethel Kane's statements more than anything. I don't know who that is. made Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace, and that's the end of it. So let's go completely unhinged, devoid from reality. Let's go through it. So she starts off, I found myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred leading us towards a world that I don't want to be in, leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Okay. Like all these people, you ask them for specifics, they will not be able to give it to you. In terms of what she means by leading us to 4 years of hatred, what I'm going to assume is she's going to say, in terms of the things she will not be able to prove, it'll be like, oh, he hates trans people, he hates gay people, he hates blacks. Most likely, probably is going to be thrown in there too. He's basically going to say he's a white supremacist, right? She's not going to be able to provide any proof, like nobody has. Nobody's going to be able to give any proof of that. At the most, what they'll be able to do is point out a few hoaxes. Left-wing ideology is downstream from hoaxes. You ever heard the phrase, politics is downstream from culture? Well, let's bring it to the left-wing side. Left-wing ideology is downstream from hoaxes. The most she's going to be able to point to in terms of hatred rhetoric that will make it so she can't raise her daughter that she doesn't have is either the hoax of the Very Fine People, where just a snippet of it was played, and then of course the TV ran with it, freaking out zombies like her, people who don't see the good in verifying things for themselves, who just want to watch TV and be spoon-fed information. Well, that's how you get spoon-fed garbage, and you end up a zombie to a narrative. That's most likely what she'll be able to point to. And she may not even know about that. She's obviously in a bubble. Hollywood has a huge bubble. Nobody's shocked or surprised by that. And she is in that, very thick. In terms of a world she wouldn't be able to raise her daughter in, I don't understand what she means by that. I'm sure she'll say Trump's going to make, I don't know, rape legal or some nonsense, crazy, sick fantasy like that. Obviously, that's not true. Trump has daughters in his life, other female relatives, granddaughters. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why would you want to live like this? If I thought that people were gonna, if somebody's telling me that half the country wants to vote in someone who's gonna, whatever fantasy in her head makes her think that she doesn't want to raise a daughter in this world, the first thing I'd do is look that person up for myself. I'd get all the claims or whatever, and then I'd verify. Because to walk around thinking something like that, how do you not go nuts? How do you not go crazy walking around thinking that, where is it? Trump is leading us to a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want. What? Leading us to a world that is fearful. Like, you're already there. You're already in the world that is fearful. You're completely deranged and warped in your thinking. How is Trump going to lead to a world where your non-existent daughter has a baby she doesn't want? What's going on here? Is rape going to be legal again? I said that earlier. Is that what you think is going to happen? Is there going to be some forced quota where she has to have kids? Again, which would be rape. So, that's the same point. What the freak are you talking about? What does that mean? More than likely it means that she can't be a whore having wanton, unattached sexual encounters with thousands of men and abortions every week. And why would that be bad? Why would you want your daughter living like that? Why would you want that? Will that be a fulfilling life? Are you doing that? Who's fulfilled by a life like that? More than likely, that's what she's talking about, if I had to guess. Obviously, I'm not in her head. I'm not the voices she's hearing. This is crazy. This is not rooted in reality. And unfortunately, people get in a bubble so thick to where they're afraid to get out of this. afraid to live in a world that's not dominated by this type of, hysterical fear. I shouldn't, she goes on, I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke. Again, I'm guessing she meant to say fearful this morning. And I'm here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. Now, there's a little sense, a tiny slither of light coming in the freaking nightmarescape that is her mind. Yeah, the left did fail you big time. The Democrat Party offered zero alternatives to Trump. If anybody who is not, I guess, Rachel Zegler or richer, or not completely and totally brain drained and mind warped by TV, yeah, they offered you nothing. Offered you nothing. I know, because I watched what the Democrats were offering. Okay? I cannot send in Trump is bad to the electric bill for the electric bill payment. That won't work. Trump is bad will not buy me groceries. Orange man bad does nothing when I need some new clothes. It does nothing. When I'm trying to put stuff together for my son, the world is not trading currency in orange man bad. Abortion access is not paying the bills for me. It's not. Is that shocking? To some people, I bet that is. I bet that is. At the DNC, they offered y'all. This will never not be insane to me. So it's going to be a lot of videos where this comes out again. DNC at the convention on the porch had cats getting abortions and vasectomies. And you're looking, what does it say? This, on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. That's the path forward. That's their path forward. Nothing, abyss, death. Get your vasectomy, get your abortion. There's your path forward, Rachel Zegler. Why are you trying to, what else? That's their offer. Do you want that? Apparently you do. If you're saying your daughter will be forced to have a baby she doesn't want, to some degree, I guess that is what you want. They have nothing for you in terms of a future. At their political rally, they're telling their supporters, you, Rachel Zegler, to kill your future. And then she comes on and says, continues to fail in forging a new path forward. No, they're not failing, Doug. That's the plan. They're executing their plan. And here you are mad at Trump. Be mad at them. That's what you need to be focused on. This law should not have been, and it certainly should not have been by so many votes. Well, again, I cannot get through my day on abortion rights. That's not how I get through my day. You know? And most Americans, believe it or not, they're not getting abortions every single day. That's just not how it's gonna happen. That's not how most people's days are. I don't know. Your days sound like they're kind of nuts. If that's such a priority for you that you will vote for somebody on that alone. Besides the policies that she stole from Trump. Not she, because she wasn't running that campaign. The DNC, the establishment. Come on, I don't even want to be president. So, you know, and at the end of it here, for her to say, may Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. The left, for some reason, I don't understand it. They don't want to offer anybody anything that they need. That they're uninterested, the establishment anyway, is uninterested in solving the problems that they themselves cause. The border crisis, the rapid inflation that's going nuts, our diminishing rights. You know, on the Joe Rogan podcast the other day, you had people talking about how businesses are getting debanked because either of political affiliation or because they're trying to protect monopolies. They're getting debanked. You have the IRS going after people harder than ever. Of course, they lied and said, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna be going after tax cheats, the millionaire, billionaire tax cheats or whatever." Of course, no. The high millionaires and the billionaires are their donors. What? Of course not. But we need to tell the dum-dums that. The idiots. The fools. Which Rachel Zegler, she didn't see any problems with that. That's not the priority. Those things, I mean, I can go on. You have Biden himself doing, what do you call it? All kinds of crazy deals through his son. They're laundering money to Burisma, where his son is on the National Energy Board. Gee, nothing to see there, right? But reality is of no consequence to this woman right now, anyway. But because I care about that stuff, because I have to properly orient myself in the world, I'm not in a Hollywood bubble. I don't have. She obviously doesn't mind destroying her career because she puts this trash out and other dumb, wild statements out. So I'm assuming she has something she could fall back on. they haven't kicked her out of all her roles yet, so I'm assuming she's doing okay. And I'm not wishing for her to have some horrible reckoning where she, it ends up destitute. I'm not wishing that for her. The point of this is to show, look, you're not tapped into reality here. Now, this video may not reach her, right? But it could reach somebody who, unfortunately, is similar. Somebody a little closer to me who's similar and needs to be shaken out of this crazy bubble they're in. This is nuts. To wish people who are trying to properly orient themselves in the world no peace? That's not of God, man. That's not of God. And I really hope, I'm going to pray for her, and I ask all the other saints and future saints to also pray for her too, as well as they pray for themselves, of course, because this is crazy. This is crazy. No peace. She has a lot of growing up to do. She has a lot of reality to adjust to in the very near future, and I hope she can, because this is nuts. And the fact that so many people would agree with this, it's terrifying. We're going to move on to this statement over here from our girl Angela Rye. This woman, man.
I'm very emotional. I think that I feel the obligation. I feel frustrated, honestly, with myself because I spent so much time over the last couple weeks just focusing on the half that I hate right now, like the half of the country that I despise. Um,
That's
and
wild.
and
Is that not crazy? God forbid you take into account people that don't agree with you politically. God forbid. Those crazy degenerates that that think a little bit different from you. Oh man, God forbid those people enter your psyche with any compassion. God forbid. We share the same country, and for the most part, we want the same thing. Everybody wants the same thing, for the most part. Do we not want a better life for ourselves and our children? Isn't that what we're all supposed to be going for? Is it possible then that maybe some of us might have a little bit better idea on how to do certain things? Who here is completely self-sufficient within themselves? They can do it all alone. Who? That's certainly not my thinking. I know other people can do things better than me. I need other people, especially my fellow Americans. But here you have, once again, these people who are just completely hopped up on TV, totally and utterly high on their own self-righteousness. To say that you hate how you're upset because you spent so much time thinking about people who disagree with you politically. Because of course there's no redeeming qualities about them. They have nothing of any value to offer the discourse. Within yourself is everything good, self-contained. You don't even need Christ in your life. Jesus is doesn't reach the high burden that you apparently are able to hold everybody to. It's irrational. It's wild. It's how do you think you're the better person with that kind of thinking? Let's go on.
And I'm frustrated about that because you don't get understanding through
Correct.
frustration.
Hey, big up. Big up. At least she's wow. Given the mentality of these people and their derangement, I'm shocked that she said that. And I'm happy. That's good. Once again, a little sliver of light. Look, most people are not irredeemable. And to God, nobody's irredeemable. I mean, he could work it out. He could work it out. That's him. Christ is able. Don't leave nothing. Don't say something's impossible for God, because he's just gonna laugh at you and do it right in front of your face 15 times over. So I'm glad that there is some tenuous grasp on reality. It's this thin rope over a cliff. Oh, she's dangling, doesn't know that she's dangling on this one rope. But good. I'm happy to hear that at least. Let's continue.
I feel guilty about is knowing that there's an obligation to a whole other half, of the country, and feeling like there has to be a conversation.
Thank you.
Come to Jesus, as they say.
Yes.
So many people, because we are really
no, we're not.
On
yes,
the same page.
Correct.
And I am at a loss.
Yes, you are.
Point.
Yes, you are.
There. And
yes,
so
you are.
I think you guys know I'm fiercely competitive over all kinds.
This is one of those ridiculous things.
But what I really don't like to do is, I don't mind saying I don't know. I don't mind admitting I don't know. I hate not knowing for an extended period of time and feeling like the overwhelm of I don't know where to turn.
How do you not know?
Answer, right?
What?
Like, I don't even know if at this point people will be honest about their reasons for voting for the other side, or if they'll be honest about who they really voted for, because they probably know us or have seen us and wouldn't feel comfortable telling us the truth. So where do you go to solve an I don't know when you're not even confident that people?
So that last portion right there is just there's just more evidence of them being stuck. They're stuck in this bubble. They are chest deep in a mire, talking to each other completely and utterly. Chest deep. My God, they're 5 feet deep over their heads. That's how much propaganda they're stuck in, to where she thinks that like people will lie to her about voting for Trump. It's like, yo, girl, there are so many that you have the entire internet. Hell, even Fox News can give you some insight. Even cable news to a degree can give you some insight. It's somewhere to start. Or do you think they're gonna lie to you about why people are voting for Trump? I mean, they talk about the border on there. They talk about the crazy prices. They talk about the rhetoric about, training this, training that, taking precedence over the plethora of other problems, real problems that Americans have. But more than that, I mean, you can go to this. That's the beauty of YouTube. As much as YouTube is trying its best to be just the latest wing of the establishment power, and they are succeeding very, very well with that. It's still a great resource to understand the average person, because the average person still can upload to YouTube. How much longer that that lasts, I'll let you know. But it's everywhere. To understand the average man, it's not far from you. You don't even have to leave your house. Thousands of videos by millions of people. You like that math? That's some MSNBC math right there. There you go. You're welcome. That's the kind of math that makes sense to her. Oh man, look. But when you're in a bubble like she is, obviously that a break from that isn't readily acceptable, and not to mention you're afraid of that. Part of what she's explaining there is her apprehension to seek that out. It's not that she can't find it, she doesn't know. She's also afraid to come across that information. I do think to a degree that people are understanding of the situation, right? I don't think everybody on MSNBC is really just crazy / retarded. I don't think so. I think there are a lot of people who understand what's going on and who are making money off of this. They're making their career. They understand that this is a nonsense reality. We in a Project Veritas expose years ago. I remember somebody got Van Jones on camera saying, "Yeah, the Trump Russia thing is a nothing burger," although he would push it on TV. So that's an example of somebody who understands. Okay, yeah, this is a job for me. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna do this thing because it makes me money. It gives me the life I want or whatever, right? And to a degree, I understand going that route. I understand that some people do terrible things for money. How much more lie to easily duped people, right? And then you have people who really believe this nonsense. You have people who honestly believe this. People who are crying tears because they want this foolishness to be true. People who would ruin their career because they want this nonsense to be true. Like Miss Zegler over here. If I can get this thing up. People who would throw their careers away. So these are real people. I don't think that they're majority, but they are real people. And it's hard to know the difference sometimes because of how ridiculous things, they're what they believe is. But these are two sides of the same coin. Sorry, not two sides of the same coin. These people exist on the left. Ones that have that are a part of the establishment, and those who are simply just completely surrounded by it, and due to their career and their friends and their family, that they really don't have anybody talking to them about this. But they can come out of it, and I hope these two people come out of it. I don't think, from what I'm seeing, I don't think that they believe this stuff. I think that I think that they really believe this stuff. I don't think that they're just grifters, like Van Jones was exposed as being a grifter. But it's also dangerous to potentially dangerous to come across these people, because, like she said, did she not say that she hates? Right? She said she hates. Where is it? There it is. And then you have a goofball over here talking about she no peace for Trump supporters. How do you? I very much want them to come out of this haze of malice and malcontent, but it's dangerous to come and try to talk to these people. As much as she says, hey, I wanna understand, and I know I need to. I'm not trying to have her try to bite my neck off. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to talk about that because it's so sad. It's so sad to see how strong propaganda is, but it is strong, and it's something that you have to keep in mind. It's worth reaching out to people that think like this. I don't want to. This isn't just me bashing them, although that's fun, but that's not Christ-like, and it's not going to get us to where we need to go. We need these people to come out of this delusion. We need them, And honestly, if it was me, this schizophrenic, this mired in malfeasance and just all this hate, I would want to come out of this too. This cannot feel good to walk around and live like this. It cannot feel good. This has to suck. And so I know I would want to come out of it. So if you have family members, if you have friends, maybe you have to do it gingerly, and I would imagine you would. I'm doing it in my own life, and I hope you guys take the time to do it too. It's worth it. It's worth it. Please do help them. God rewards bravery like that because to a certain degree, some of y'all have to be brave. If this is the calmest leftist, you're gonna have to be brave. Some of y'all. My family members and friends aren't crazy like to this degree, so I can get through them a little bit. They might start shouting and getting themselves riled up, but for the most part, I can contain them. You know what I mean? You see the biceps, holla at your boy. You see the triceps. It's worth it. It's worth it, and God rewards it. So it's definitely worth it. If something that God wants you to do and rewards it, it's worth it. So stay steadfast in Him, man, because there's any one of us could end up a complete zombie, a TV drone, with our brain just completely and utterly just trashed by TV propaganda. This can be me. There might be something that comes out tomorrow that seems appealing to me and gets me all crazy and riled up. Stay in the Word, man. That's what keeps me sane. I got the Word. I got Christ. And I know I'm not perfect, but it's a marathon, not a race. So stay in it. Stay in it. Have a great foundation. And I recommend for you it be Christ. That's the best foundation that there is. Definitively, I'm letting you know that. But besides that, guys, I hope the video was good, and I hope the audio is going to be okay this time. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.